is stream. Alright, we are green across the board.
Let's just hop on to the True Sneaky Devil stream.
You are live on YouTube. You are live on Restream.io.
You know, the fact that we have even just 361 views is kind of astounding.
No, it's great. It's great, definitely. Do 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 do. Flawless. 10 out of 10. Sent out a channel feed tweet saying, let's get physical in all caps, and then, all lowercase after that. And by that I mean, let's look at bad fanfiction. 10 out of 10. Nailed it.
I
Yeah, no.
can't believe you're doing PMs tonight. Atin is missing out on some good stuff.
You know, man, I told him, hey, dude, I'm doing PMs tonight. And he's like, yep, I got to go to a game because I don't like expressing personality to my family.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Basically, his family was like, hey, you should go to the Eagles game tonight. And he's like, no, no, no. And the dad's like, yes, you're definitely going to the Eagles game tonight. He's like, okay, I'm going to the Eagles game tonight.
It's like, cool. Thanks, Dad. Love how we're exercising that free will we love to spout.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, I'm trying to do something that might potentially, actually do something with my life. You should go to this football game instead.
Is it football or baseball or softball?
Dude, I don't fucking know. It's the people, the girls that he's hosting, so I guess it would be softball or something.
More than likely.
Um, but okay, so yeah, that's everything ready. Stream only starts at like 3 minutes in, so that's a pretty good record for us. All right, with everything green, that means hello and welcome everyone to another edition of Fanfiction Mock Theater 9000. The host Sneaky Devil, joined tonight by only Max Force, because as you heard our pre-stream ramble, Adams won't be joining us because he's a little bitch.
Now, to be fair, he is staying there rent-free. I don't know about you, but if the equivalent of my landlord saying, you don't have to pay me, but you're doing this, this, and this from time to time, I'm not pissing that landlord off.
I suppose. Ugh. Yes, my family just works differently, which is probably our fact already established. But as always, back on topic, as we are so prone to getting off of it. This is Tuesday, which means I'm not high, right? This is Tuesday? Yeah, this is a Tuesday,
It's Tuesday.
which means that we are looking at old fan fiction, private messages, and shit that's previously been covered, etc., etc. Instead of our normally scheduled broadcast, which, I mean, we will sometimes look at, the normal stuff, but our Tuesdays as of late have been taken up by the old stuff. So if you do not want to see old shit, don't want to see our actual first drama, woo, or just don't like listening to my voice, then I would cut off now.
I don't know why you say that. Like, of the three of us, you probably actually do have the best voice. As
uh,
much as it pains me to admit that.
I don't know. To me, I guess I sound like a fucking hyped up kitten on helium. But I guess that's
Well,
just me.
yeah, but I can't even say anything in defense of that because I'm one of those. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my brain, but I'm one of those like handful of people that can do feedback loops. Their voice over mic and played back doesn't bother them. I need to go talk to a psychologist at some
Probably.
point.
You're
Just
probably
like,
disassociating from your own voice. That's healthy. Don't worry about that. That's healthy. You're fine.
well, I mean, it made the initial effort at two recordings way back when easier on me.
Cool gameplay reveal of Anthem. That's great, EDA. Anyway, so today, as I said, we'll be covering, if you can notice my screen, we will be covering PMs and the dramas that they have created through my.
Toxic opinion,
I would go with toxic opinion. I would say more like
vitriolic, abrasive, downright mean.
genuine opinion. Yeah, let's go with that.
That's one way to look at it, sure.
As I was saying, so, Huntsman of Legend. I can't click on the PM stream, the PM chain because the person who was PMing me blocked me after I told them they were dumb and wrong.
Wait, does that also completely lock off the PM chain?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fantastic. How many people don't even realize that if they left you a super long thing, you'll never know what they said?
Oh no, that's actually happened before. I actually got like a mega long rant, and I knew it was a mega long rant because it gives me the PM in my email. You know, it gives me a section of the PM in my email, and then gives me the link to go to it. And so
Hmm.
I've seen someone like just give me this massive fucking rant before, but when I would click on the PM to read the full thing, you have been blocked by this user. Yeah. So
Nice.
anyway, as a reminder, Huntsman of Legend by Wolfpack Alpha 16. You know he's good. Um, and this is all lowercase words for the summary. No punctuation either, really. One day, a young man found a dust crystal that unlocked powers within himself that came from beings from a different dimensions. Now, can he use those powers to save worlds from threat much worse than Grim and White Fang?
I don't know where you're getting these odd emphasis from. The man is not using tildes. He's not using italics.
I gotta make it
I
entertaining to myself somehow.
like you went full on speed racer there, and I'm not sure why.
As you can plainly see from the screen, and if you're not looking at the screen, I'll spell it out for you. It's fucking trash. His dialogue is trash. He doesn't even know how to use quotation marks. Commas? What the fuck are those? Periods? Sometimes. Capital letters? Nope. What else has we got going on here? How do I fucking write
What,
dialogue between two characters in terms of the actual content? Don't know how to do that.
what the fuck?
Plot? Who the fuck cares about plot in this story? This is just a fucking power wank of a self-insert OC.
Uh, this is baffling.
So
Like his
obviously, I read
his
this story.
grammar, this grammar's not horrid in the first paragraph.
And then it just
Like
goes fucking
there's
downhill
a
from there, yeah.
couple small
Yeah.
mistakes, and Sneaky, that is actual harass. Sneaky, we talked about this way before the time you made those reviews. You can't do that.
So
You
I
actually.
left my legitimate opinions on his
Oh,
work. Fuck off and die with your edge lord. Oh, that's right. It was also an edge lord betrayed by my family, I believe. Sort of bullshit going on, maybe. But
okay.
anyway, it was enough edgy to make me go fuck off with your edge lord OCOP bullshit. And then chapter 2 made me hate the world, and I told him to stop existing. Now, well, to be fair, these aren't exactly constructive reviews or um helpful in any form or fashion.
Not unless the guy's got a serious, serious fetish for masochism.
Yes, this is true. Um, However, as I wrote up in this response before I realized they blocked me. Um, they have posted this story onto a free public forum of the internet that openly encourages the posting of your opinion in the reviews. Now, admittedly, they do say please only give constructive criticism in the in the community
Oh,
section and
no,
etc. etc.
the guidelines don't say that. The guidelines just don't want you to harass and,
Oh, yes, harassing. Well, I
yeah.
guess you could say harassing would be leaving more than one review, which is I sort of did, but I
Well,
stopped after
no,
chapter 2.
sneaky harassing it also includes telling them to fuck off and die
I don't think so.
and to stop existing.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just being a dick. I'm pretty sure harassing includes multiple instances.
No, no, I don't think it does, but we're not here for that. We're here for this shit show.
Anyway, so Applejack 112 decides to PM me. And I might they had short enough PMs I could probably bring them up in my
Oh,
email,
hey,
which I won't be
there's a
showing. I'll
definition.
read it out loud, but I won't be showing it. Here we go. Applejack PMs. Um okay. So I said to them, right?
Uh-huh.
They said, "Dude, no need to get hostile. What's your problem?" I said, "Okay, Brony, I don't know why you're PMing me. First off, why do you care if I'm hostile? You're not the author, and I don't see any of your reviews on this story. So, what are you just going through the reviews just to harass other people, eh?"
Did you actually ask him that, or are you just
No, I actually
ad-libbing
said
now?
that. This is all the stuff I said because obviously I can't bring up my own messages to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I'm like, and secondly, the guy posted it publicly, so I'm gonna give him my public comment on his public work. And so they responded with, "First off, don't speak on anything you know nothing about. Secondly, I personally know the author if you were paying attention, and you would know he is a first-time writer. Thirdly, you must not have anything better to do than spread your negativity. Well, oh my god, such oh my god. Please find
Well,
something productive to do with time more."
he's right. We really don't have much better to do on Tuesdays and Fridays than to look at bad fan fiction.
I mean,
So
this is true, but
that's
technically I
accurate.
was being productive in that I was reading and offering my opinion on his work in a fashion that in the future could possibly construe something of a hobby slash job. Sort of.
Oh, there it is. Rules and guidelines.
So, anyway, I, being the dashing young man, that I am, decided to respond with a well thought out criticism of them, which I actually saved to a notepad after they blocked me because for some reason Chrome tends to save my private messages that I haven't sent in other private message chains. So I just went
Uh,
to a different chain and was like, "Hey, copy paste."
cool. I'm looking at community etiquette
Mm.
for the guideline bit, and the very first thing, spell check all story and poetry.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no excuse for not performing this.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Even even the site owners will
Even
give you
fan
shit for this.
fiction's done with people's shit. Yeah.
Proofread all entries for grammar and other aspects of writing before submission.
Mm-hmm.
Hot off the press content is often riddled with errors. No one is perfect, but it is the duty of the writer to perform to the best of his or her ability.
Yeah.
Respect the reviewers. Not all reviews strictly praise the work. If someone rightfully criticizes a portion of the writing, take it as a compliment that the reviewer has opted to spend his or her valuable time to help improve your writing. Sneaky, we really do need to work a little bit more on your constructive
Hey,
criticism.
no, I have improved. I now insult you while giving constructive criticism on everything you did wrong.
Uh, Bullet point 4. Everyone here is an aspiring writer. Respect your fellow members and lend a helping hand when they need it. Like many things, path to becoming a better writer is off to a street. Use proper textual formatting.
Mm-hmm.
What this means is you need to do the bare minimum of formatting.
Literally
There are
all
a
the shit we
handful.
talk about with dialogue being in separate paragraphs, proper spacing being used with dialogues, proper commas being used with dialogues, uh, proper commas being used, period, running it through spell check before posting it. All
Yeah,
that shit that we talk about actually has to be done per posting regulations by fanfiction. So
yeah,
technically speaking, if fanfiction cared enough, a shitload of these stories could be culled. But they don't care enough. They just they just have those rules there as a we would love you to do these, but we're not really gonna go full Nazi and genocide all the trash.
yep.
But anyway, so this is the PM that I wrote. But before I realized they blocked me. Oh, did I trigger you? Why the fuck would I care if they were a first time writer? Have they never picked up a fucking book before? Read a story in print? There is. I'm not sure how to write my idea in a way that properly fits the genre and point of view I'm attempting, and herder, how do I write good? Me no knows how words work. If you
Take a
are
little bit of offense to that stereotypical hillbilly shit right there, mate. Just a little.
hey, at least I
Uh,
nailed it. If you are such a personal friend, then do me a personal favor and look your personal buddy in his or her personal eyes and tell him, you're writing, it's shit. Pick up a book that's setting and point of view fit the way you want to write and mimic it. That's what a first time writer should be doing, not posting their keyboard diarrhea onto a public platform and getting offended for them when someone says mean words called facts and truth. I do productive things with my time, unlike you, random person harassing me for leaving my opinion on the internet. I actually featured this story in a series of how not to write shit.
yeah.
Like, I say this so often, and I've said it, I'm going to keep saying it often. There is no excuse for a majority of these things. Plot, characters, I understand if those are just running shit heaps and the author doesn't know how to do that. That is one thing I will admit that is hard for first time writers to fully get. Even reading a book really won't help you fully with that. It's only when you sit down and start writing the characters you realize how much background shit going into them that isn't on the page.
Oh yeah.
And
No, there's
so
still
I
a
will
lot.
admit for plot and characters, that is definitely I'm a first time writer. That's where that excuse can come out. But sentence structure, how dialogue is written on the page, grammar. I will forgive few errors, but if it's shit like quote, space, lowercase, well, lowercase, headmaster, I'm wondering why am I here. Incorrect version of the word here. No quote, no comma, no punctuation. He said, period. New paragraph, quote, space, lowercase, what do you mean, question mark. New paragraph, quote, a lowercase, well, you know I'm different from everyone else and I kind of feel out of place here. No punctuation, no quote, he said, period. If
Yeah.
you can read a single freaking piece of writing that is not fan fiction, that is not on a blog, that is not text speak, if you can pick up a book, look at a newspaper, look at a magazine, look at a news article, look at literally freaking anything professionally done, and find where this is and has been done, then I will retract my
Uh,
statement. I will bow down before your writing prowess. But the thing is, it's never going to happen because it isn't done. Because it is not how professional writing is done or accepted. It's not how English is accepted. A first grade teacher might not even accept this writing in terms of its structure alone.
I don't think fan fiction wants to acknowledge this thing's writing. I decided to look for the title.
Yeah,
Yeah, do a search by story title.
yeah,
It doesn't even show up in the results.
yeah.
There's no section mentioned for anime, manga, Ruby, any of that stuff.
Mm,
So, hilarious coincidence, but holy shit, holy shit.
yeah. Like,
When did this guy make his December 2nd, 2015? First published it December 8th.
like,
And it's been rebooted.
yeah. This is the reboot, by the way. In case anyone was wondering, as of 18 hours ago, this is the reboot. This is the better version of what I previously reviewed.
Yep.
But as I've said, as I will always say, if you're
I
gonna
just
write,
want shielded
look
cable.
at what has been written. If you're gonna write a fantasy story about kids getting magic in a school, look at Harry Potter. It's a terrible example, don't get me wrong. It's a terrible example. I freaking hate Harry Potter in terms of how it was written. But J.K. Rowling did a great job in marketing it. And I'll give her credits for that one. But it's a good basis of an idea of how to go about it. Obviously, don't copy it precisely. Don't make the events similar, and etc., etc. But it's a fantasy story with children, magic, in a school. You really can only go
Yep.
so many ways with that. But there's plenty of open-endedness to that to not be a Harry Potter clone per se. But look at it. Look at how it focuses on certain characters. Is that how you want to do it? Yeah? Okay, good. Pay attention. How does it do dialogue? Pay attention. How does it describe things? Pay attention. And actually, Harry Potter is actually a great example in terms of this. Because the Harry Potter books, 1 through 7, were this is where J.K. Rowling's excellent ability to sell shit came into play. The way her writing reflects the age group she's selling it towards is actually significantly different between books 1 and 7. And you can see that as you go deeper into the series, the quote unquote reading level raises higher and higher. More details are given, more complicated plots occur, more the characters get more of a background to them. They start having their own motivations beyond just being a piece in the story. Obviously, they're still just a piece in the story, and J.K. Rowling still writes in a very immature manner, sort of, even by the seventh book. But it is a great bar to look at and go, okay, I'm aiming for this age group. How did J.K. Rowling write to this age group? Because J.K. Rowling's a fucking millionaire. If it worked for her, it can work for you, despite whatever criticisms I may lay your way. So, look at her work. Look, Salvatore. There is I can't even begin to name the amount of authors out there for fantasy works or sci-fi works or modern day fantasy works and it's just etc. There is so many out there. I have read, I can't even tell you how many fantasy and sci-fi and modern fantasy and etc. high fantasy, low fantasy. And all you would need to do before writing would be to pick up a book that is similar to how you think your story should go. And I guarantee you there's something out there. There's always going to be something out there. Unless a new idea is introduced, there's probably going to be something out there, something written about it. Unless some new technology or some new knowledge is dropped upon us, your story is not going to be anything new. And even then, if there isn't something specifically your idea out there, there's probably a fan fiction out there. As much as I hate to say that, there is likely some sort of amazing, mind-blowing fan fiction out there that is quality above quality. That's doing something similar to what you're doing. And all it takes is for you to read that and go, okay, what I've written down, does it look similar in terms of structure, in terms of character description, in terms of plot description to the audience, dialogue, focus, point of view? Is it similar to this work that has clearly succeeded? If the answer is no, you should probably look at it again. But anyway, that's enough about this. So let's see. Then there is the Black Rosier. Potter story.
Think I remember that one.
The Black Rosier will be Potter. This was a story we covered when you weren't here, and I covered this one.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You told me that about this one.
For the people that have been here a long time. Hi, Xenon. Oh, you've killed Max. I guess we have to end the stream. For the people that have been here for a long time, you will know of Black Rosier because we've covered this author's interaction with me for like I would say a good 5 episodes now, something like that.
I don't actually know.
Point is, we've been going on for a long time back and forth in terms of episodes. His story was absolute crap. Self-insert OC that was capable of being the most beautiful women on earth, changing themselves, seeing the future. Yeah. And they were marrying the main character. The main hero of the story. The fanfiction they were writing for. And I said some things to them, and they tried to attack me back, and then I completely thoroughly thrashed them by citing canon sources and shit like that, and then they apologized to me, and we walked away from each other, me feeling satisfied that I verbally thrashed this man, and them, I don't know, forgetting all about it or something. They have short-term memory, I guess, because there was no rejoicing, no. And so, all the fucking sudden, about 5 days ago, they send me a new private message about the same review I made, coming at it from a completely different angle, but still starting off with an ad hominem attack.
Yay.
And I covered that in the previous stream. However, they have responded to that since then. They sent back. Yeah, I realized that I sent you this PM 17 seconds afterwards. I checked your username, and apparently this is their excuse. It's a good thing I checked your username, since apparently your username had an odd glitch where it looked like someone else's username. And I didn't really check because their complaints that I was responding to were very similar to your own. And then he asked if I could review Chapter 3. Yeah, I don't know how I get in these situations either. But to further his delusion, I am the latest review for Chapter for his entire story. I am the latest review. So unless someone PM'd him with the exact same quote unquote complaints I had, I don't know why he thought making that shit up would somehow would somehow make me go, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's fine. It's totally cool, buddy. Um, I just it baffles me. How? Oh, I thought you were someone else that left a similar review, even though I'm the only one who's left reviews on his fucking story.
A word on the tip of his lounge. Well, at least we know he uses the spell check on his browser stuff. I just saw that last little bit
Yeah,
of the PM he sent to you.
yeah, yeah.
And at first it's like, that should say tongue, right? Does the T look? Oh no,
No,
that's actually an L.
yeah, it's just an
Oh,
L.
good. His stuff auto corrected to lounge.
So I will do him a favor, and because these chapters are quite short, I will sit here and on stream review his chapter 3 because I am that kind and caring person that you all do not know. But no, seriously, I have no problem looking over stories. I've looked over some people in the stream stories before. Yes, I am quite harsh in my opinion sometimes, Calvin. This is true. Um, However, technically they were breaking the site guidelines as well. So, you know.
Well, that depends on which one. That was just general community etiquette. Not, it's not offensive enough to actually warrant a ban, so that's why you look for the really crappy stuff with lemons written in,
Oh
because
yeah,
that
that too.
actually does break site
Yeah,
guidelines.
yeah. Um, I mean, it's another thing as well. Is I probably said this in my. Did I say I didn't? Maybe I said it. Anyway, I've said this before multiple times. If you heap trash into the public sphere, expect people to call it trash. Expect people to call you trash. Just generally do not expect a good reaction from it. There will certainly be people out there that are willing to sit down and explain to you nicely, piece by piece, of why your story is absolute flaming garbage. And then there's me, who won't do that and will just sit here and laugh at your face about how fucking awful you are at writing for an American in English. Like, Calvin, you're a separate case because English is not your first language. Which is why I sat down and took the time to read your work and not call you a garbage fire person. But things would be
Okay,
different if you were American.
I need to know what the fuck is
That's how
going
it
on with
is.
that word. No, that he is just misspelling
Yes,
tongue.
Silod, I am not. You are not hearing things. I am talking to someone named Calvin. This is a dual stream. It is streamed in both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. As
Oh,
such, there are
son of a.
people in the Twitch chat and people in the YouTube chat, and I am responding to them
Ugh.
both verbally because I am a lazy asshole who does not feel like writing responses out. And sometimes
Well,
it's stupid stuff that needs to be said.
now I gotta Sign in to the other, to
Yes,
the YouTube
Calvin, you're on
account.
YouTube.
Uh, wow, I completely forgot the password for a moment there.
I believe the password is Mike Pence, like it in the crapper, you get the zapper. Unless we've changed it recently.
Live streaming. YouTube, have you got a tool where I can not have to look at the stream? Okay, you're gonna make me
You
have
can
the
just
stream up. All right,
you
just
can
gonna.
just pause the stream, dude. You don't need to watch the stream. There's a button. It says stop.
Sneaky, how many times do I have to remind you I'm not Rob? I'm complaining because I fucking hate that this isn't immediately set up the way I'd like it to be.
So you are Rob.
No, Rob can't find his way out of a fucking paper bag sometimes it feels like.
This is a true fact. This is a
Or
true
whatever the
fact.
IT equivalent of a paper bag is.
Oh, so just shove the CPU into the what?
No.
No. Anyway,
Yeah, no, you'd be surprised.
Harry
You
Potter.
know,
Hmm?
well, no, you know someone has had to deal with some real idiots in IT.
Yeah.
When I make the simple observation, if you need to remove a CPU, you can just take the Mobo, carefully flip it over, and the CPU just falls out because it's not locked in there.
Yeah.
Just unlock it and flip it out. And he just looked at me like I never thought of telling any of them to do that. They have broken so many Mobos and CPUs that had to be replaced by my
But
money.
how did you how do you break motherboards removing a CPU? It's if it's an AMD CPU, you
Because
flick the
they're
little lever up and it pops out a little bit, and then you just grab the edges of the CPU and shloop. And if
yeah,
it's
well, that's part of
Intel, you flip the lever, you pop open the case, and it slides out because that's how Intel works.
because most of them don't know that.
What are they doing? Taking a screwdriver to it?
Twisting it, getting pins from the CPU stuck in the Mobo as a result of that twisting, fucking up the lever because they aren't undoing the lever and just yanking it out with brute force. You know, stupid stuff.
I don't understand this sometimes. Why do people exist? How have we made it this far? Were we were we just placed on this planet to suffer? RTFM.
I'll go see if I can figure out what that is.
I like how we're both just like, what?
Read the fucking manual. All right,
Yes,
I'm
read the
saving that forever in my memory.
yeah, no, that is a common rage statement that I do make at people. Why don't you just read the
Oh,
fucking manual?
all right. Sneaky,
Hmm.
good news.
Uh.
We can start using this. You can just start using this as reaction image to when Rob does something stupid.
Oh yeah.
Just don't explain to him what RTFM means. Tell him he's gonna have to figure that out too.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over great with him. Um. I actually have a clip that works here, and I had it up before, and I don't know where the friggity frackety is now. Oh yes, is this it?
To suffer. Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost. The comrades I've lost. Won't stop hurting. It's like you're all still there. You feel it too, don't you? gonna make him give back our past.
I feel like this could probably get something taken down
Well, I mean, if
thanks
that
to
guy
YouTube.
has something like 500k views on it and it hasn't been taken down, I'm pretty sure our 3 view live stream is safe. Anyway, the Black Rosier will be a potter. I am a black, called a dark witch. I am a Vela, so I will be every male's wet dream. That's the most beautiful women genetically. Of course, being a metamorph, being able to change your body into anything you want, shows the truth. Being both means I have no choice but to do what I believe is right. Why that is? Who the fuck knows? Author. Being betrothed to the boy who lives has mostly sealed my fate. They say it betrothed in the summary, but what they actually mean is that according to the PM chain that I had with this guy, they actually mean that they gave themselves a prophecy, which if you know Harry Potter isn't possible. They gave themselves a prophecy and decided to marry Harry Potter because of it. Nevertheless, I will die to defend him. Bring it on, Death Eaters. Harry and Bo. Yeah, Harry and Bo. Let's say, Chapter 3, The Twitch. During breakfast, before classes start, I notice Draco and Weasley glaring at each other from across the Great Hall. Sometimes, Potter glares at Draco, then he looks wary at Weasley, and then his eyes dart to me, and seem to hold what? Regret? Confusion? Yearning? Why? What did his family teach him? Muggle or not, they obviously knew. Sigh. Don't do that, by the way. Star, sigh, star. Just say, I sighed. You don't do emotes while you're writing, basically. Draco dear, why are you looking so much at Weasley and Potter? I tried to keep the twitch of pain off my face. Does saying the word Potter physically hurt you? But I don't think I managed by the look of Daphne's face. Ah, sorry, it's just when I tried to introduce myself on the train, they insulted me and rejected my friendship. He hauntily informs me.
Haughtily.
See, they say haughtily, but then they have like this like completely robotic inflection from Draco and the actual dialogue. No, that is a common problem that people have. Cylon. Um, for some reason, the indent lines will for fuck all not work sometimes, even when posted. So fanfic authors have gotten creative over the times when the lines for whatever reason did not work. Like we did. We make funny little line breaks.
You do.
I do. I tried giving you credit. Apparently he doesn't want any.
I'll just take credit for writing majority of the story.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that this author would know the times when line breaks didn't work. Like I said, it's a thing that's actually happened before. It actually happened to our story before, where we've posted it and then looked back on it when what fanfiction posted, and we're like, where the fuck are all our line breaks? And so then that's when we started doing man-made line breaks. Obviously not
Yeah,
just zeros, but you know.
fanfiction has its handful of problems from time to time that still crop up.
Well, if Potter Twitch dislikes Draco, indeed. If so, Potter Twitch dislikes me because you couldn't hold your tongue. I feel like that's not said correctly.
It's not. They're mis they are misspelling it.
I narrow my eyes at him. Maybe? Fix it, Draco. Greengrass, Draco Rosier, your schedules do not be late. Um,
Comma would have been super
yeah,
useful
no,
there.
comma is definitely more appropriate there because the previous statement was not a sentence. It was three names, which does not a sentence make.
Oh, not just that. Comma after the schedules would be incredibly useful.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah. Good. Your schedules do not be late! Yeah, you're right. You're giving it to him right now. The schedules are, in fact, not late.
Yeah, Professor Snape, are you having a stroke? Do we need
Sever,
to call someone?
Sever Professor Snape hands us the parchment. Transfiguration first, then charms, lunch, then herbology. All of them with the Gryffindors. Sorry, Daphne tells us. I just sigh. Um, Now, this comes into play. The author did tell me they plan on making this a very AU story, which I was like, okay, fine, whatever. However, again, this comes into the suspension of disbelief versus AU and what you're doing with it. There is no reason for the year one schedules to be completely different. Uh, we actually know what the year one schedules are and which classes have them with which houses have them with which houses, and there's no reason for that to be different all of a sudden. Um, Nothing that's AU in this story so far would affect Dumbledore enough to suddenly change how scheduling works. So, did I just Jeff Goldblum? Did you just Hitler Snape? Maybe I did, Calvin. Maybe I did. Where's Weasley and Potter? Twitch, it's almost the bell. I mumble to myself. Slam! Ah, never mind. Sorry, Professor, we weren't late after all. Weasley grins and, for lack of a better word, swaggers to an empty seat, only to be interrupted by the cat that he somehow missed launch itself off the desk and land in front of him, transform into a woman, take 5 points, and threaten to turn him into a map. Amusing but pointless. Wow, that was just a lot of fucking tell and not much show. Yet she just smiles at Potter and squeezes his shoulder. I must have missed something here. First year transfiguration. My name is Professor McGonagall, and barring unexpected circumstance, I will be your professor for the next 7 years. She pauses to make sure everyone is paying attention, and her gaze lingers on me for a few seconds with an odd gleam. Today I shall be teaching you the basic theory of transfiguration. Well, all but Miss Black Rosier here, whom by the very nature of being a metamorph magus instinctually understands. False. So I will her this time to reach ahead of she so wishes.
I have no idea what that sentence is supposed to be. There's like 4 variations that it could be.
My eyes widen slightly. Well, that explains the look. Does it, though? I look at Draco only for him to shrug, so I grab a potions book from my bag and start reading. To begin, you need an understanding of Gamp's Law. I just tune her out at that point. Rosier! Miss Black Rosier! Ah! I fall off my chair in shock at the professor shouting so close to me. Ignoring the laughing from the Gryffindors, I brush the first off my robes and change my hair from bright orange to a tempered steel color. I repsond. Sorry, Professor. I was, sorry, Professor. No matter, Miss Black Rosier. I did give you permission to ignore the lesson. Now I have your attention, however. I would like if you were able to answer the question that nobody else seems to have been able to. I tilt my head in question. If someone was to change one object into another object without increasing the mass, how would one accomplish such a feat? Oh boy, we're about to have someone explain magic. Lovely. Advanced or basic method, basic, living or non-living, non-living, then living, if you will. Ooh, for Z... why are she so... Oi, for Z... Why is she suddenly...
Why is she suddenly a really offensive French?
Not only French, Z comes from German. That's German accent. So she's... Furman? Gench?
No, Z is very often used for French. Sadly, that's kind of a failing of trying to do European accents from time to time.
Fair enough.
Way too many things overlap when you're doing vernacular.
Indeed. You must use its very own mass to create a pocket of expanded space within itself to hold the excess to avoid degradation, I think is the word. Daphne interrupts me to tell me my accent was getting thicker. My apologies. As for the living transfiguration, it can vary anywhere from the folding space with plants to shrinking different parts depends on the intent itself. Animangus, for example, you cannot completely become a cat. You can only shift your body into thinking it's a cat. Nuzzling really changes. Nuzzing really changes other than your own perception of the accent of feeling of your own body. It's harder to explain the living professor. For me, it's like breathing. I simply just do it. That was a Newt level answer. I very much doubt I have very much to teach you in the next few years. Alright, so since the author is so intent on doing this, as a person who has read enough Harry Potter stories, and a person who has read all the Harry Potter books, and did all the fucking Harry Potter shit, because I didn't really have that much of a wide range of things to read as a child, I can tell you from right now, that's not how this works. Metamorph Maguses don't simply have sudden knowledge of transfiguration. Even if they have a greater knack for it or pick it up easier, they won't suddenly know how Gamp's law applies to blank, because they would have to know what Gamp's law is. Now, for example, they may be savant-ish in terms of, once they understand what Gamp's law is, they would be able to sort of explain it because they would get the feel for it, for something, for whatever Gamp's law is supposed to apply to or whatever. Or I'm just using Gamp for example because that's what's been mentioned. But they wouldn't be like, oh yes, Gamp's law and Ohm's law and this law, they all apply to blah 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 blah. You wouldn't be able, as a savant, you wouldn't be able to explain it to someone else. Instinctual knowledge of something does not come with the ability to explain said knowledge. It's instinctual. You can't explain how you're breathing. It's instinctual.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go with someone having instinctual knowledge of something, they cannot then explain said knowledge to other people. Because if they could explain said knowledge to other people, what's the fucking point of having a non-metamorph magus transfiguration teacher? What's the point of having transfiguration masters? if you can just have a fucking metamorph magus explain the entire universe. Anyway, your point, Max?
I'm just a little bit bothered by the science of all of this. The question was change one object into a smaller object without increasing the mass. If you're changing it to a smaller, you're not worried about increasing the mass. What you're worried about is losing that mass. That mass has to go somewhere, and theoretically, it would just compact, increasing the density of that smaller object.
Yeah, theoretically it would, but because magic, it just changes its mass, and the mass goes somewhere else temporarily. So,
Just-
this is another topic I want to talk about, and it's something I see somewhat frequently in Harry Potter sections, in Ruby section, in Naruto section, in the Bleach section, in any section really that has any section really that has supernatural forces in it. I've seen people attempt to do this, and I'm not saying don't, because there are some fantastic stories out there that have successfully done it. And they've done it quite well in terms of pulling shit out their ass to explain stuff while at the same time paying attention to how canon works. But it's very hard. It requires a lot of effort, as I can tell you personally for Dark Souls. Holy fucking shit, if I knew what I was getting into with that. Typically, though, it's magic numbnuts, is a saying that I've used before. You don't have to explain magic, specifically magic. If there's some shit behind it, if you know, it's like, oh, this is magic, but you need to use these runes, and they need to be drawn this way, it's okay, then you can start explaining it, because clearly it's got a structure to it. In Harry Potterverse, they make reference to arithmancy as mathematical spell making, quote unquote, but they never really do anything with that. They also make mention to runes, but they never really do anything with that canon. So mostly to the canon, magic in the Harry Potterverse is magic. Period. Why does X object turn into X object when they twist their wand and say habita? Magic. Why does jabbing it forward and shouting some butchered Latin shoot a pink beam that knocks someone unconscious after 3 minutes? Magic. You don't try to explain it. There's nothing to explain there. It's magic. And I've seen a lot of stories ruined by people trying to explain shit in Bleach, in Naruto, in Harry Potter, in Ruby. Trying to explain shit, trying to be a George Lucas. No, sorry, not trying to be George. Trying to explain shit and then end up George Lucasing it. Giving us information we never wanted nor needed.
Yeah, like there are certain things you can't go messing around with until there's more world building done. Like Bleach, you can throw out a couple theories because they've tried explaining it. Naruto, it's actually fairly straightforward, seeing as how he admitted it's based off of the real world theory behind chakra and
Yeah.
internal energies. That's a little bit easier. Ruby, we're still clamoring for more on aura and dust and all
Ruby is
that.
the Dark Souls of anime. When it comes to information.
Kinda, yeah.
There, I have some water in my system now.
That's good.
Yeah, basically, don't try to explain shit. You just look stupid, typically. If your story is about how you and Harry go gallivanting off into the sunset, then make it about that. You don't have to throw in this little side shit about how, oh my god, she's a prodigy at Transfiguration because she instinctually knows all these laws and shit. Again, normally I would be like, okay, yeah, magic, whatever, that gives her the information. But, instinctual. She said the word instinctual, which changes the connotations of the knowledge. Yes, she wants to try and out Hermione, indeed. My apologies, madam. I simply know eye-level transfiguration from my dueling hobby. Your dueling hobby. Your dueling hobby. Your dueling hobby. You are 10! You have legally received your wand a week ago. At what fucking point did you pick up dueling to the point that it's a hobby, to the point that you're a master in transfiguration and its laws? Please,
Huh.
tell me.
I think my brain tried auto-completing hobby to Dobby just to make it
Yeah.
make more sense. Like this
Don't
random
worry.
schmuck decided
My
to
brain,
actually
my brain did
duel.
insert that as well.
Like,
So,
okay,
no worries
clearly
about that.
this is stupid. Here, let's make it so another character was helping train them.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brain.
Yeah. It's,
And fuck you, Sneaky, for pointing out what it actually was.
yeah. I
Ugh.
slip into my accent the more I focus on answers since I was taught most of them in French. Um. Okay, look. I have family that lives outside the U.S. And I have a cousin, actually, whose first language was, in fact, Chinese and not English. Even though both of his parents are American. They were living in China when he was born, and he was raised in China, so he learned Chinese first. And it's actually kind of funny because he talks English with a Chinese accent. And my that family's other son also has an accent of Chinese as well because he learned it at a young age, but also knew how to say English normally. But the accent stays when he switches from Chinese and he goes back to English. That accent stays for a bit, then he gets back into the rhythm of speaking English normally. Also funny. But I say all this because I'm speaking from a point of, while anecdotal, knowledge. You are 10 years old. You have not lived long enough with enough memory and experiences to have separate accents when you're talking about things. Now, if you were speaking in French, I would believe that more. However, you're saying that because you were taught things in French, you're speaking with a French accent to your English. That's not how that works. If you were taught in French, you would remember things in French, and then you would speak it either in French or English. One does not gain an accent based off of the language they were taught something in. So unless the teacher was teaching them in English with a French accent, which you indicated as the author that they taught you in French, there is literally no reason for you to gain a French accent when talking about this stuff. So this is just another case of the author trying to make their character more special.
Yeah.
Everything is fine, Miss Blackrose here. You simply proved my point. Metamorph maguses tend to be almost instant masters in transfiguration, due to the fact that they can adjust their bodies at will. While they may not be able to fully understand how to do it, there has never been an incident where a metamorph has been injured by it. That part's true. The instant master and transfiguration part is not, but the not injured by your rheumatic part is true. Sorry. Now what I have to say here is, A, first part's dumb. So we have Beau, a French diva who's about to fuck Harry Potter in 6 years. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe by the end of this year. This author so far is hitting all the red flags of how not to fucking write a story. So who knows? They may include pedophilia. It's not going to be the first time. No, not really pedophilia. It'd just be child sex at that point. Yeah. Anyway. My point here is I'm gonna use another analogy with Masters of Transfiguration. You are not a diver, an expert diver, just because you know how to breathe. Becoming an expert diver requires training for your breathing. You need to train at what you instinctually know to do this. So because the jury is still out on it, and because we have no such words of God from Rowling herself about metamorphs beyond the fact that they instinctually know how to change their bodies and that they aren't very good at controlling it, and they have to sit down and practice and teach themselves how to control it. What this author is saying is fucking ridiculously false, annoying as shit, and it's just another fucking, straw on the camel's back of how special my OC self-insert is? You can see why I dropped the story after the first chapter and why I so verbally ripped this author a new one when I originally left the review. See you, Calvin. Merlin, I knew you were smart, but that wow, are you sure you want Potter and me? Okay, so apparently in Chapter 2, it was revealed that she's apparently betrothed to both Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter, and she has to marry both of them. She's under a black contract for Harry Potter, and she is forced to do whatever Harry Potter says, which apparently is refer to him as Potter and stay away from him. Yeah. Pouting is not becoming of a Malfoy and you, because if you hadn't insulted him, assaulted an unknown and insulted a Potter, we may not be in this situation. I blame whoever raised him. I am Professor Flitwick, and I'll most likely be your charms teacher for at least 5 years. Now I've heard my colleague. Now one of our numbers, an amateur duelist. I wasn't told she wanted because she want. I wasn't told since she wanted to surprise me. Would whoever it is please stand up? I stand up with my hair bright red. Oh, she actually speaks French this time for some fuck all reason. Um, Daphne kicks me in the shin and hisses English. Sorry, I'm the one you were told about, sir. I sheepishly say. Ah! Miss Black Rosier, may I ask who was your trainer? Professor Flitwick asks in a half-contained glee. My mistress was Jean Moreau, Professor. Moreau! No wonder you're as skilled as you are, child. Mind if I test you? Oh, not at all, Professor. Jean had nothing but good things to say about you, even when you set her on fire. Of course, Flitwick knows her, and they're great friends. I bounce in my seat in eagerness. I can breathe, sort of. Well done! Cast either of the broken wall or the false fall. Then cast dream, focus, or the Patronus. The broken wall. Oh, he means 1,000 shards. So I cast it with dust as my base. Not too powerful, but useful. I then cast the best Patronus I can, which is to say a semi-solid shield. That was impressive. Patronus, 30 points to Slytherin, and you are exempt from today's lesson. Why would she be exempt from today's charms lesson? Just talk to Potter. Weasley either blocks contact or Potter gives me a look that makes me lose my nerve. It hurts so much because he rejects me. Help me, please, I plead her. I am Professor Sprout, and I will be... End of chapter. What?
I don't know.
Okay, well, let me write a review for this fucking goddamn garbage heap. For say I don't do good things for people. First off, more special stuff for the OC to be special at. Second off, as known by canon, let's see, metamorphs are not instant masters of transfiguration. They are also not instant masters of their own abilities. ... which must be trained. La Tonks. Just because you can do something instinctually does not mean you can explain it or pick up the stuff that branches from it that is similar to it. with a snap of the finger. Just because you can breathe instinctually does not mean you can become an expert diver just like that. What else do we got? Third, some grammar and spelling here and there. Caps locked words that should be italicized. Anything else nitpicky on that end?
Not really. No.
Let's see. So we've covered the metamorph angle. We've covered the special I'm better at this shit angle. Right, they do the whole wand thing. Fourth. At what... Again, legally, she only received her wand at most weeks ago. At what point did she suddenly become a master duelist, a master at transfiguration, and a hobbyist in dueling? Question mark. Also, that is not how accents, even shoddily done, such as yours, work. I would know. It's just a markup mistake. Okay. Decapitalize the word that. Even I would know. Okay, so we covered accents. We covered wands, transfiguration, their grammar, spelling, and caps locking of words. What else in there? They contradicted themselves. Fifth, you contradicted yourself, saying the contract forced her away, but then saying she actually didn't approach him because she was nervous. Alright, and I'll post that, and we can get away from this trash heap.
Cool.
And on to Rosario Vampire. Oh, that's right.
Alright.
No, we already covered that one a while back.
Did we?
Yes, we did actually.
Hmm.
Harry Potter and Fire Emblem. I suppose we should wait. For that.
Yeah, I don't know near enough for that.
I thought you knew Fire Emblem.
Yeah, but like not heavily like Atin. Like I'm very much a casual fan, thanks purely to Awakening.
Alright then, let's do a Ghoul's High School Life. Rosario Naruto.
Oh boy.
4 chapters, 10k words, 16 reviews, 129 favorites. Here is the link for all you people in case you wish to follow along.
Mm.
What is this fucking trash? A Ghoul's High School Life by DMC Dante Rocks. I was experimented on by my adopted father. I became a monster who can live by either eating humans or my own kind. I'll get stronger to protect my loved ones even if I lose my mind. Baby, you make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Now tell me what's 1,000 minus 7?
You know,
What?
I love when authors write this kind of character trait who can live by eating blank or blank. I'm like, so he just doesn't have to eat either because it's an option, not a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for getting rid of any urgency that might have had if this was meant to have any seriousness to
Yeah,
that
I
particular
actually
trait.
remember a worm story. It was a Harry Potter worm crossover. Um, the updates on it are fucking glacial. But what made it stick in my mind was that for some reason Harry Potter is like semi-dementor now, and he needs to eat someone's soul every couple of days, or he goes insane and starts eating random people's souls. And so he's like, okay, well I'm just gonna eat like criminals' souls and shit. And so he has to do that. And a majority of the story is this build up every couple of chapters where he does have to start like picking apart people and going, okay, it'll be okay if this one dies, and he has to plan it. He has to make sure the people that are watching him, you know. Something happens that makes them not watch him for as long as he needs to go rip out someone's soul and eat it. And it's actually a very good story, but unfortunately as I said, it updates at the rate a glacier melts. Anyway. Hey guys, my new story is now out. This has been bugging me, so I had to get it out. Plus, I'm waiting for the person who got my challenge right. So, round of applause for Falcon 8000 for figuring out why my Naruto and Goku were so similar. Anyway, my new story to keep me entertained for a while. Also, I know some of you were very upset by the latest chapter of A Devil's New Life, and all I can say is sorry. So, please enjoy.
Maybe I don't want to enjoy. Don't tell me how to live my life.
I'm not here for enjoyment. I'm here for suffering and pain.
I'm here because you probably do need someone to bounce off of.
Yeah. It's been 3 years since that day. The day the nine-tailed fox attacked the Hidden Leaf Village. As you gaze upon the place, you wouldn't think it was destroyed. It was sunny, peaceful, not to mention it had children walking down the street smiling. But for a young boy, this place seemed more like a cage, or in his opinion, hell. He was a young boy at the mere age of 3. He had spiky, untamable hair that went out in all directions. He had big sky blue eyes filled with the innocence of youth. This was only enhanced by his rounded face with a cute nose and strange whisker marks on each cheek. He was wearing a black shirt with a red flame in the middle and orange shorts. To finish it off, he had a black open-toed sandals. This boy was known to all of the village as the Demon Brat, but his real name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, though the last part is known to a very select few. And even fewer knew. So get rid of the period. Just continue on. And even fewer knew he held the demon who had attacked the village 3 years ago on the day of his birth. He was sitting in a room looking out onto the street from a window with a sad smile on his face. Hearing a knock from the door, he turned to see the patron of the orphanage that he called home had opened the door to tell him that a man had come looking to adopt someone. Standing up and putting on a mask of happiness, he walked downstairs and stood next to another orphan. He looked at the man who was adopting someone and shivered in what he could only say was fear. The man standing in front of him had long black hair that went to the end of his back. He had purple eyeliner going all around his eyes, which only enhanced his amber-colored eyes that had a strange slit instead of the normal pupil. He was wearing a white yakuta with purple snakes going along the collar. Looking over the kids, he walked to the furthest one and asked, "If you were to have a story, what would it be?" The man had asked the question to each of the children as he walked down the line, getting the same answer of it would be action-packed. Stopping at Naruto, he stared at Naruto. He stared at him with Naruto returning the gaze. "What's your name, boy?" the man asked with curiosity in his eyes. "Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki," he said as he kept eye contact with the man. "So, Naruto-kun, what's your answer? If you were to have a story, what would it be?" the man said as he crouched to get eye level with the boy. "If I was to have a story, then it certainly would be a tragedy." Man, this is a very articulate 3-year-old. Especially
Yeah.
one who, by canon, we know, was very poorly socialized. And as we all know, high levels of socialization is needed for proper speaking. Otherwise, you end up with a southern accent.
Fuck you. Actually, we still don't even know if he ever actually was at an orphanage.
No, he was. He was
I
until
don't
he was 5 years old.
I don't actually remember that.
That is actually a thing. It's because 1010 and him were in the same orphanage, and that was mentioned at one point, like once, between the two of them. And he was removed from the. Now this is where the fanon kicks in. Is they say oh he was kicked out of the orphanage and shit like that. What we do know is he was in the orphanage until around 5, at which point he got moved into an apartment.
No, I think you're taking fan canon again and trying to insert it into the Narutoverse. I'm pretty sure we tracked down the specific fan fiction you grabbed this from, too. No, I don't want the wiki page on Narutopedia. God
Yes, I do want
damn
the wiki
it.
page on Narutopedia. I think we might have.
I'm pretty sure that was something you grabbed from a very well written fan fiction, and
It's
I'm
entirely
pretty sure we
possible.
found it at some point.
I'm pretty sure we did as well.
Let's see. The
Um,
only mention of the Konoha orphanage is when Naruto sends them to
hmm.
Kabuto because he took over, and the orphanage itself was mentioned in passing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was mentioned. Wait, no, wasn't it mentioned because of Kabuto? Wasn't that part of Kabuto? No, that was anime filler. I don't
um,
think that was in the manga.
no, that was not in the manga. Um,
I'm gonna go track down the specific chapters while you keep reading.
yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So I may have been wrong. However, it does say in the Wikipedia However, Naruto's peers emulated their parents' hatred of Naruto despite him not knowing why. This social isolation caused Naruto to crave acknowledgement, which he would gain by pulling pranks. So he was socially isolated, even if I'm wrong about the orphanage.
Oh, no. No. There will be no denying that. We already knew that. Oh, oh no, the orphanage was. That's right. That actually was part of Kabuto's filler in the
Yeah.
manga.
Yeah, he
We
was part
actually
of the
did get
orphanage.
this.
Yeah, no,
That's right. Yeah, we did get flashbacks to that,
both
and
Orochimaru and
parts.
Danzo did recruit from the orphanage.
Yeah, yeah. It's God. Those guys were. I can't believe they're letting Orochimaru just walk around Konoha now. That's still the weirdest plot point. Just walks around Konoha with Yamato keeping an eye on him as the shadow escort in case he tries anything. Oh, just let a mass murderer just walk around the village, getting dango and tea. Because
Yeah.
Uncle would totally let that slide.
Um, I don't think was Orochimaru banished yet.
Oh no, you didn't know. Um, so in the Boruto anime, I don't know about the manga, but the Boruto anime, there are some scenes where Orochimaru is just walking around in the
Oh,
background,
oh yeah, no, I think
and
he was in fact pardoned then.
Yamato is there, and no, it wasn't a full pardon because he still has Yamato watching over him.
Yeah,
Mr. I am clone of first Hokage, fuck you. I actually got his specific jutsu.
yeah.
Yeah, no, like if
No,
you're gonna have
I know
anyone
there's a
watch
lot
him,
of suspension of
that would
disbelief that's being
that
broken.
is
Yeah.
that is definitely one of the better choices. But all I can think is I get that he saved it, and I get that Naruto is way too forgiving for his own good, but I feel like his advisors would have stepped in on this.
Mm,
I feel like Shikamaru would have stepped in for
probably,
this.
yeah.
Much less Kakashi giving Orochimaru a full pardon. Kakashi was still Hokage at the time. No, no, sorry. Tsunade was still Hokage. Why the fuck did she let him live?
Um, you know, I can't say. I do not know.
Like that's actually pretty screwed up.
Yeah, no, I do not know. Huh. That's pretty fucked. Well then. Get back to the story. This boy is the one I'm looking for. The man thought to himself before smiling to Naruto. My name is Orochimaru. Would you like to be adopted by me? You can keep your name. He asked and told the boy, who nodded without a second's hesitation. Running to his room, he grabbed a bag and placed all his belongings in it, which was a hat, another pair of clothes, and a froggy waller he named Gamma-chan. I'm pretty sure he didn't get that yet, but whatever. Again, very articulate and on top of things, 3-year-old. They had walked out of the Hidden Leaf's gate, not capitalized, and were currently heading to a hideout Orochimaru had. Okay, um, I realize he's a Sanin, but I am pretty sure nobody is going to let Naruto just walk out of the village at the age of 3 without
Oh, Donzo sure as hell would not have.
without
You know he would have had fucking Root looking over Naruto just to
without
keep tabs on
any.
the brat.
Yeah, I mean, like, no protest from the Hokage as, oh hey, don't take Naruto to your creepy lab hideout. You know, none of that. Just yeah.
This is fine.
This is fine, indeed. Running back down and standing next to his new father, he bowed to the patron of the orphanage and walked out following his father. That was quick. That's it. That's all he needs to do to get adopted. Just, alright, you're adopted. Okay, cool. I'm not familiar with adoption, but I can almost say with certainty that's not how adoption works. Especially adoption of the nine-tailed Jinchuriki, if anything. They had walked out of the Hidden Leaf's gates and were currently heading to a hideout. They had arrived at a mountain face a bit east of the Hidden Leaf. Orochimaru did some hand signs, and suddenly the huge rock in front of them faded away, showing a hole in the mountain. Getting over his shock as he saw his father walk in a motion for him to follow, he did as such, ignoring the fact a rock got in the way, blocking any entry or exit. Naruto-kun, you're sleeping in the bedroom on the left, he said as he opened a door showing a poorly lit room. I'm sorry if it's not proper for you. Orochimaru wouldn't be sorry, and he wouldn't apologize. He wouldn't care. He continued as he looked down the hall. Don't be sorry, Orochimaru-san. Why aren't you calling him father? You're happily calling him father in the fucking narration. As long as I'm away from the village, I'm happy, Naruto said as he smiled. That's good, Naruto-kun. Get some sleep, okay? He asked, getting a nod from the boy before walking off. That boy holds the Kyuubi. If anything, he should be able to survive, he thought to himself as he licked his lips with his tongue. Immortality will soon be mine, he thought before walking to his lab to finish off his work before testing Naruto. You know, that is a fair enough statement. That is a fair enough question of Orochimaru. Like, if he was so obsessed with this shit, right? Why didn't he kidnap Naruto earlier? You know? You know what I mean, Max?
No, I do. It's
The RFTM. I'm gonna save that. Yeah. um. Oh, there's the drop in bitrate. Cool. Neato burrito. Let's keep going. Naruto was just looking around his new room. Was a bit surprised to see that smoke had started to seep into the walls. Into the walls? You mean from the walls?
Yep,
Unless
clearly into. Apparently these walls are self-cleaning.
holding his breath, hoping to not inhale the gas as it may be poisonous. Unfortunately, I don't think a 3-year-old, personally, I don't think a 3-year-old would be that on the ball, especially one
Not
with that
unless someone
many.
was throwing poisonous gas grenades into his room at the orphanage.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did it a bit too late as he started to feel woozy and his world started to spin as he passed out. Unknown to him, someone had stepped into his room and picked him up and dragged him to a lab. When Naruto came to, he was strapped to a table and had chains and ceiling tags all over him. Coo, enjoy your sleep? Orochimaru asked as he laughed and walked into view. Orochimaru-san, what's happening? Again, he's only using honorifics from Naruto to Orochimaru. Why?
Um, no, he's using honorifics from Orochimaru Naruto. It's just in certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's using it. He's using the
He's
typical
just being
Naruto canon that
he's
he
just being inconsistent. Got it. He asks his adoptive father, "You see, Naruto, I could have taken any of those kids, but I chose you. The reason being that you're an Uzumaki. The Uzumakis were known for their longevity. Not to mention you have a special friend who can help," he said while looking at his gut. "You see, Naruto, you hold the Kyuubi, the demon that attacked the village 3 years ago. So when I saw you at the orphanage, I knew you would be the perfect test subject. You see, I'm trying to gain immortality." Why is he monologuing at a 3-year-old?
I think this is one of those, this is for the sake of the audience things. Because Orochimaru didn't monologue to the kids very much. Like his monologue was just to his monologue was to Saratobi, because Saratobi's like, where the fuck have you been and what were you doing in that lab all those years ago?
Yeah.
Like his monologue to Saratobi made sense because he was answering a question from Saratobi.
He continued as he walked up to the table and pulled out a syringe filled with black liquid. "This is the 2 serums combined," he said as he pushed the needle into Naruto's arm. Naruto could feel the serum moving inside of
Could
his
we stop
body.
real quick?
Mm,
First off,
yeah.
the whole "you're gonna be my test subject." Fuck off. This is Orochimaru. He's actually quite articulate. Second, I have 2 serums that I don't know if they'll work, so we're gonna put them into one.
And then stick them in you.
Uh, don't you want to see the individual results before combining them like a proper mad scientist, or are you just a stupid mad scientist? You know, you call yourself scientist, but you don't know what you're doing. You're just throwing chemicals together and hoping for something pretty to happen.
See, we are going full Deus Ex Authoria.
Uh,
Naruto could feel the serum moving inside of his body. Unknown to him, his right eye had turned a blood red while the whites of it turned a midnight black. He started thrashing around more as 2 black wings with an orange inside burst from his back, with the right one being bigger than the left. They faded away with a black mist before 4 tentacles burst from his waist. They were a blood red and seemed to be scaled all the way to the base. They faded away in the same manner as the wings. He looked at Orochimaru with his new right eye before he passed out from pain. Orochimaru was practically drooling at what happened. He knew that the immortality was a failure, but when he saw the boy had 2 strange abilities, he grabbed the boy and threw him into a cell, leaving him alone before placing 2 plates with food on it. The only thing was that one of them was a normal piece of steak, the other was human meat. He remembered about a race of human-eating monsters. He remembered about a race. This could be an interesting predicament, he thought to himself with a smile. I think it's time to get Project Jason. Again, this is something that Atin and I talked about. Max has probably been here for one of those conversations as well. Nomenclature, nomenclature, nomenclature. Jason is not a name they would know or use in Naruto. Project Jason would not be a thing. Period. If Naruto is now one of them, then he would make a good weapon, he thought as he laughed to himself. Meanwhile, in a cell down another hall, a man wearing a white suit with a hockey mask looked at the door before laughing.
I'm not gonna say anything about this.
Fuck this gay ass Earth! Time
Feel
skip.
better?
Yes. Time
Okay.
skip. Now I don't. 3 years, Naruto age 6. It's been 3 years since Naruto was adopted by his father, and Root and Anubu never discovered Naruto again.
All that or Donzo's like, oh hey, maybe he'll make him an even better weapon. I don't freaking know
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't know what this author is.
Okay, when was this published? When was this first published?
Actually,
Published
quite
December
recently.
28th of 2016. Okay, no, fuck off. Fuck off. The manga and the anime have certainly gotten far enough for us to understand what's going on here. Certainly
2016,
far
they
enough.
were over, dude.
I meant in the dub. If this guy was just a dub watcher, we're certainly far enough to know about Donzo's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Was adopted by his father and discovered the true meaning of hell. He had first woken up to the 2 plates and looked at them suspiciously. Then he saw his father walk in and tell him that he should eat up. He remembered how eager he was to eat until he found that when he tried the proper steak, he vomited it out. Okay, so he was incorrectly stating in the um, summary. He does need to eat people. Um, so this is a thing I've seen before. That authors make this mistake. Unless your character is for some reason a in canon explained race that requires you to eat people, there is no biological reason for you to not be able to eat one form of meat unless it's been poisoned. Obviously, not everyone can eat poisonous toad meat or poisonous frog meat. No shit, only certain animals can. However, humans do not produce poison in their muscle mass. Cows do not produce poison in their muscle mass. Ergo, if you can eat cow, you can eat human.
Really a little bit ahead.
Oh.
So Orochimaru decided to assign his elite guard to Naruto. His elite guard are only 8 years old.
Is a
They're only 2 years older than Naruto.
Oh my god. Elite guard, 2 years older. KYS, please. Oh my. Welcome back, Psylod. You missed everything. It was important stuff that you missed, and you're better off for it.
Yeah, don't worry though. We'll get Orochimaru's kindergarten squad on the case.
Trying the other, he found it to be the best food he's ever eaten, better than the godsend that was ramen. When he heard laughing, he looked up to see Orochimaru laughing as he stared at him, and revealed that he just ate human flesh. He tried starving himself after a couple weeks, but found that he went insane in the first week. When he was given food, he attacked the poor servant and devoured him. After that, he stopped resisting the food he was given. He had grown a bit and now looked like a 6-year-old. Really? Really? The 6-year-old has grown to look like a 6-year-old? Fucking
Snake,
shocker! Stop the presses.
Snaky.
Call the press. This is important news.
I think Discord's fucking with your mic again. You've gotten really quiet.
How about now?
That's better. Was it Discord again?
Yeah, it was Discord again.
Damn it, Discord.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, he looks like a 6-year-old now.
So yeah, the 6-year-old now looks like a 6-year-old. Fucking shocker. He was still sitting in his cell plotting and hoping that he would pay Orochimaru back when he got the strength. Though a good thing had happened that was him making friends with Orochimaru's elite guard. Not so elite, are they, eh? Making friends with a prisoner? He met them
Oh
after they were
boy.
assigned to guard him. They are 2 years older than him. He was quiet at first until a hot-blooded redhead named Tayuya walked in and started to talk to him. He found out that she was from the hidden grass and that she, like all of the Sound Four, was given the curse mark. It was the way that Orochimaru made to bind them to himself. I'm pretty sure he did not pick them up at that young age.
I'm not sure at what age he would pick them up, much less why he would give an 8-year-old a curse mark.
No.
Like, at least when we saw him give it to Sasuke was 13, I believe, at the time. He
Yeah.
also had a properly developed body for a ninja because, well, they start them young
Yeah.
in the Naruto-verse. So, his body should theoretically be able to handle the basic stages of it. Honestly, the fact he managed to live through the initial stage 2 progression is actually quite impressive.
Yeah.
Like, I think Orochimaru even yeah, I think no, his guard basically said, if you live through this, congrats. If you die, well, it was the expected result.
Yeah. He was quiet at first. Curse mark. It was the way Orochimaru made to bind them to himself. So after they started talking like normal people. Tayuya, really, and normal people. Just guard and prisoner, normal people. Tayuya had actually gotten him an eye patch to hide his right eye after they found out it was permanent. Eventually, they all started to bond with him. They all became his best friends, and they all wanted to help him through his new problem. Really? So these are fucking some shit-ass guards. They hadn't been with him for the past 3 weeks as they had been assigned a training mission in a different hideout. Hearing a door open, he looked at the light as the light hit his new black eye patch that he had 4 steel points at the corners of a square. Oh boy, so we're going full, what's his face from Bleach? Kenpachi?
I swear to God, if he doesn't try and headbutt someone with that fucking eye patch, I'm gonna be really disappointed in you, author. I'm gonna be
He saw a
really,
man
really
wearing a white
disappointed.
suit with a hockey mask walk in. Hello there, I'm Yamori, but you may call me Jason.
No, Jason, I'm not going to call you that.
The now named Jason said as he took off his mask to show his face. Taking a piece of food he had, Naruto bit into it.
No, I'm sorry, actually, the now named Yamori, thank you.
I know, right? I know. Naruto bit into it and introduced himself. My name's Naruto. What do you want, Jason-san? He asked, having a bad feeling about him. Well, you see, Naruto, I want to test something. So Jason's a doctor?
I don't think so.
I want to test something about you, so do forgive me for this, he said as he knocked Naruto out with a hard punch to the head. When he awoke, he was in a large area on a chair, with his hands handcuffed together and his feet were handcuffed to the legs of the chair. Looking around, he saw Jason walk in with what seemed like a clamp in his hands. Good morning, Naruto-kun. I hope you had a good sleep, but this is where our fun starts, so I need you to do me a favor and count down from 1,000 by 7, and don't stop. Okay, Jason said as he walked towards Naruto and started to rip out Naruto's nails. Ah, Naruto screamed at the pain. Ha ha ha, that's right, Naruto, let me hear you. Jason said psychotically as he continued to torture the boy. Actually, that is a misconception. It would be sadistically. If you take enjoyment from it, it would be sadism. Uh,
Yeah,
Psychotic people can be sadists. However, psychotic people do not naturally get enjoyment out of someone else's suffering. It's just kind of a thing they do.
Yeah, I'm curious as to when Jason became this super articulate character who was into torture. That always struck me as more of a Saw kind of thing, maybe a Freddy.
Yeah, I know, right?
But Jason's a schmuck with a
Jason's
machete
basically a
and
thug. He's just a
supernatural
thug.
strength.
Yeah, thug
Like
with a machete.
sometimes he gets to, walk on water and supernatural shit happens at starting in what the third or
Something like
fourth
that. Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Yeah, like
I do know at one
motherfucker started
point you had to
off.
take off his mask or else he was like basically invulnerable.
Yeah, apparently people are enjoying the shit out of the Friday the 13th game.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a way for the players to defeat Jason,
Oh.
but it's a mixture of all the canonical ways that he was beaten in all the movies.
Oh.
So like a female counselor has to get the sweater his mother wore, a hero's got to come in, mask has got to be knocked off, he's got to be killed with machete, so on and so forth. It's
Mm.
a mashup apparently of all the canonical movie endings where Jason was killed or
Interesting.
defeated. Yeah, so that game is very clearly made for super fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are really enjoying it, now that the servers actually work and can handle players.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good to know. Good for them. I hope you enjoy Naruto. Um. Wait, what the fuck? Having ripped out all of his nails, Jason moved on to the next part. He placed his clamp around Naruto's fingers and pressed down with all his might, causing his fingers to get ripped off. I hope you enjoy, Naruto, Jason said as he continued. Please stop, Naruto pleaded.
All right, Deadpool, get the fuck out of here now.
Jason simply ignored him and kept on torturing the poor boy. That started a couple weeks ago. He kept going at it, seeing his Naruto fingers and toes growed back. Growed back.
Crowed back.
So it was a daily thing. Get tortured, regrow his missing pieces, and sleep. No commas. Get commas in there, boy. But this time happened different. When Naruto was chained to the chair, he saw Jason walk up with a centipede in his hand. I see you noticed my new friend. This is a Chinese, they wouldn't know that term, red-headed centipede an old friend of me gave me when I was younger. Do you know that they enjoy burrowing? So I'm curious what will happen when I place this in your ear. Will it burrow into your ear? There's only one way to find out. He said as he moved to Naruto and placed it inside his ear. All the while, Naruto was screaming for him to stop. That happened last week, and the pain had taken a toll on him, seeing as his hair had gone from spiky blonde to black.
Oh, good. Reverse Super Saiyan.
Okay. There is only one form of hair conversion that can occur from stress. That's natural color to white. That's actually a known thing. Stress induces depigmentization of your hair. Your hair does not turn black because you were tortured. It's not a thing. That happened last week, blah, blah. Before anything could happen, an explosion occurred, and Anbu Black Ops from the Hidden Leaf came into the hideout. Looking up, he saw his four best and only friends crowded around him. Naruto, what happened to you? Tayua said as she hugged him. Before he could reply, the Sandaime Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, walked in and saw what was happening. "Young girl, how about all of you come with us to Leaf?" he said as he crouched in front of them. Look at each other, then Naruto at they saw his sky blue eye had lost all of its innocence. Now his eyes were as cold and lifeless as frozen water and as dark as the night sky. Tayuya looked towards the old man and told him to get them out of here and look after Naruto in exchange for them telling all about Orochimaru. That's some loyalty you got going there, Orochimaru.
What happened to the whole? Oh, yeah, he uses this to bind us.
Some elite ass guards there. At first, Hiruzen was shocked that the black-haired boy with an eye patch was the son of his successor. So, whatever happened to the centipede? Is it still in his head? These are questions that we need answers to. I want to know what happened to Centipede-chan. No words.
Oh. I guess the centipede did climb into his ear because apparently that happened a week before the third Hokage finally got off his ass and came looking for the kid.
Yeah, only 3 years and a month later. So yeah, I want to know what happened to the centipede.
Yeah, someone is not getting a best grandfather mug this year.
Or ever.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
So tell me what happened to Naruto. Hiruzen stared as he stared at the boy. He was experimented on by Orochimaru. He wanted to make himself immortal. In doing so, he made Naruto a ghoul. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't know that word. A being that can only live if they eat the human flesh or another ghoul. Sakon said as he watched Tayuya hold Naruto's hand.
That doesn't sound right. If this is supposed to be crossed over with Rosario, they don't define ghouls like that. I don't think. Like, I know that um, bland protagonist Kun was a special type of ghoul, but I don't remember him having to eat flesh.
I'm using that from now on. I hope you know that.
That's the bland protagonist Kun.
Uh-huh.
That's fine. Feel free to use it.
No, he wasn't even actually a special type of ghoul. He just had a very high willpower. Um, but they did make sure to basically imply that he would slowly go mad regardless of his willpower and kill everyone he loves. Eventually.
All right. Rosario Wiki, help me out.
But no, ghouls do in fact not um have to eat human meat. In fact,
Okay,
yeah, no, they don't.
okay, I'm
They
looking into
can,
it.
but they don't need to.
Part of the thing for the ghouls is a person's corpse that reanimates when possessed by a wicked spirit. Dead human flesh is its favorite food. Um, what is the bite-sized monster dictionary? Are you guys just grabbing outside sources for this?
I think so.
Google, help me out. Google, why do you autocomplete this? Okay, what is the bite-sized monster dictionary? Candidate for deletion. No, I want to know what this is. What is it? You people are not explaining where you're getting this info from. This is why I hate fandom sometimes. Because when I need to know what the fuck they're talking about, oh nope, can't
Okay, so from what I remember from the manga, is how they explained it is bloody blah, something about vampires biting a human too many times, or the human eating the vampire blood or something. That's what it was. if a human gets injected with vampire blood, because that's what they did to give bland
Monster
protagonist Kun a
blood.
power up.
Apparently, it's specifically monster blood of any kind. I think they
Okay.
just, I think they just get a huge boost from vampires.
Yeah, probably, or something like that. Blah blah blah. They get the power up, but they will slowly go insane and crave more and more monster blood and human as well. They'll basically just go insane, kill everyone, and eat everything. Then once they do go insane, it's really hard for them to come back down from that insanity. In fact, it's so hard to come back down that they don't. Period. So the author's already failed his duty in that he already had Naruto go insane and then come back down from it. So he's already fucked up that. Oh boy, this author has.
Okay, no, I'm digging into it. So, ghouls are of Arabic mythology. Evil spirit or phantom usually robs graves and feeds on dead bodies and all that. So, apparently, the authors decided they're going to be using the real world version of these things, even though apparently the wiki also decided to do this for some fuck all reason, because
Yeah,
I don't remember that being mentioned in the manga
it was not.
anywhere.
Yeah, no, it was not.
In fact, all that was mentioned was ghouls usually go insane because they don't know how to use this ability. It's not safe for their body, and they go insane as a result.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Sukune is a one in a million who got to train those abilities and train his mind to not go insane upon initially using them. So yeah, he still will probably degrade mentally over
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But until then, oh, that's right, I forgot. Ghouls were also bullshit because they basically got all the strengths vampires do in that world,
Mhm.
but none of the weaknesses.
Yep.
Right, that's why Sukune was an actual threat.
Yeah.
They couldn't beat him with normal vampire weaknesses.
Yeah.
Their only option was to be stronger than he was, and it's kind of hard to do when he finally goes full power.
Yeah.
I mean, he still nearly dies. But hey, so it was a good fight. They got in some good hits.
So yeah, so this author is mixing up a shit ton of different lores about ghouls. Cool. Lovely.
No, not a bunch of not different ones. He actually no, wait, where did he get the tentacles from?
Yeah, exactly.
Sukune didn't have tentacle. Oh God.
Yeah. Anyway. um before any more could be said, a woman with long black hair reaching her ass.
Um, oh, this is supposed to be Mikoto, is it? This is Mikoto Uchiha. You, yeah, I don't remember her hair being long.
Um yeah,
Was it? What
no.
was it that
I don't
long?
maybe. Who knows? Behind
I
her
don't
was a
think
little
we
girl
ever
wearing a black dress. What the fuck is a little girl to black? What?
take a
Oh, they arrive.
flying.
Okay, they're in the hospital. Okay.
Oh, you're about to say, what are they doing to Orochimaru?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is she doing in Orochimaru's hideout? I completely missed they took him to a hospital. Anyway.
And the picture's going in the shitpost. Thank you,
Before
Blaze
any
for the
more could
Discord.
said, "Hello, Lord Hokage, what did you need?" The woman said as the little girl went and sat next to the currently sleeping Naruto. "Ah yes, Mikoto, I see you brought little Satsuki with you. Well, the reason I brought you here is the boy laying in bed. His name is Naruto Uzumaki," Hiruzen said as he looked down. Mikoto let out a gasp of shock as she turned her attention to the supposed son of her best friend. Looking at him, she could tell he got Kushina's face, but she was wondering why his hair was black. "If you're wondering why his hair was black, it was blonde when I met him, so his torture must have changed it," Toyua said as she rubbed the back of his hand with her own. Looking at the girl with wide eyes, hearing that Naruto was tortured when she walked over and sat next to her daughter. They sat in silence, with the former sound four clenching their fists in anger for what happened to their friend. The silence was broken as Naruto sat up with a groan and covered his right eye before taking his hand away and keeping it closed. "Sakon, Ukon, where are we?" he asked as he looked at the two brothers who shared a body. "We're in the Hidden Leaf Village Hospital." Sakon and Ukon, that development of theirs is actually recent, I believe, in canon. One of their bodies was degenerating from using the technique all the time, I believe it was. And so they like shared the body from then on or something.
I'm looking into it. Okay. Twin brothers, paramedics. Uh, yeah, no, what? I remember the Kekkei Genkai, but I don't know that it's mentioned how recent that was for him.
Hmm.
All I remember was that their Kekkei Genkai was fucking terrifying because they could fuse not only with each other but also an opponent.
Yeah, see, I was honestly surprised by the Naruto fandom that there was basically no stories that use them at all. Like you would think that would be an interesting ability to explore in the Naruto world. There's like 5 stories for them. Obviously not 5, but I'm just like, well, okay, that's a missed out opportunity.
It doesn't look like
We brought you here as Ukon said as he detached from his brother and stood next to him. Um, whatever
okay.
at this point.
I no, it looks like Ukon just chills in Sakon's body, and as a result, that degeneration you're thinking of is literally because he's not used to having his own body.
Okay.
Like Sakon is stronger of the two, Ukon appears to be the more cunning of the two.
Of course.
Great.
Naruto-kun, could you please look at me? Both eyes open, please, he said as he looked at the young boy. Naruto looked up and received a gasp of shock from two Uchiha sitting on his right. Um, Looking to his right and blushing at the sight of Satsuki, of course he blushed. He grabbed the eye patch. He's fucking 6. Why is he blushing? And placed it on before looking at the Hokage. Signed to you, went to take off the eye patch before Satsuki beat her to it and pulled it away. Naruto was shocked to see the girl he just met had taken away his eye patch and was now looking at him in the eyes. "Why do you hide your eyes? They're pretty." Look in shock. I'm Satsuki Uchiha. What's your name? Naruto. You're Satsuki-chan. Your two brothers are going to be ninjas. I really don't want you to be a Kunoichi. Maybe you can instead help Naruto. Of course. She remembered a contract that her and Kushina had written up. "I know this is sudden, but I have a little contract with his mother. It says you two are going to be married by 18, but only if you want to." They're fucking 6! What is with the Naruto and and the Harry Potter fandoms and fucking child sex? Or, sorry, rephrasing. Sexualization of children. What the fuck is up with this shit? I do not understand what the fuck goes through someone's head and goes, yeah, let's marry some fucking kids together and have them fuck.
Where are you getting this from?
It's just me ranting because I've seen stories that did that.
Because that's not uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like, there's that one Harry Potter story where Harry Potter was anally penetrated and had 300 and something anal tears.
Please don't remind me about that one.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Then there was that other Naruto story, remember, where the trap had to escort Kushina to the Leaf Village from the Whirlpool Village, and we never got that far in the story. We actually had to stop halfway through the chapter because they started sexing in the sexing. The 6-year-old Kushina started sexing up the 20-something in the fucking bath house. Yeah. So
Why'd you have to bring that one up too?
because I have to remind people of why I'm fucking enraged by this bullshit. It's a common fucking thing I see all the goddamn time in the Harry Potterverse. Not the child sex part, but like, oh, hey, 4-year-old kid, you're gonna get married to this person. I never realized you're just 4 and probably don't understand the concept of marriage or, what the opposite sex is. Or why am I explaining to you when you're fucking 4? But I'm going to explain it to you so I can already get my shipping out of the way. Yeah, no, the Harry Potter fandom is by far the most toxic fandom I have ever witnessed. It is filled with social justice warriors. It is filled with pedophiles. It it is the most disturbing fandom I've ever come across, and that's just because I'm not a Kingdom Hearts fan. But there is far too many Harry Potter stories that are just like Harry Potter rapes the shit out of everyone, literally. Or Harry and Draco Malfoy have a male pregnancy baby and they turn into male Vila werewolves that then fucking have puppies. Fucking stories with Harry and Snape having sex in the first year. Uh, Snape raising Harry from a kitten into a normal human being and then they fall in love. It, it blows my mind the kind of sick shit that people make up in the Harry Potter
Yeah.
fandom.
Real quick to Mr. Siloed here. You should read the Rosario manga. Forget the anime. The anime is just bleh. Just read the manga. You feel better after that rant? Sneaky? Sneaky? Sneaky, did your headset die?
No, my headset did not die. I was screaming inarticulately.
Okay. Okay, you still had a little bit more rant left in you.
Yeah, I didn't think anyone would want to hear me screeching.
I appreciate that. Because the last time you screeched incoherently, like in actual rage, it did hurt my ears, and I was unable to tune it out. We should finish reading this chapter. Ignore the circus for a psycho thing. That's him trying to make an anime opening with
Who's
like
trying to make a what now?
no description. Writing out an anime opening, but with like no descriptors whatsoever.
Oh,
So,
yes! Yeah, Harry was a communist? You mean this one?
Sneaky.
The fucking reviews are even better than this story. Yes, urinate on the Borgies. Fuck Father's Day. KKK Corbin is the enemy of workers. Your sudden name dropping of Steen Bannon is hilarious. You suck, you suck, you suck. It's just the maximum liked review of the word you suck.
Oh my god. You suck, you suck, you suck. Why? uh, the Street Fighter edition of what? I what?
It's Balotful.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at these in real time myself now, because this is. Oh boy.
Oh god. Oh.
Let's just randomly jump to page 12 of the reviews. This is too topical, and I can't right now.
How to deal with the alt-right. The dark age of Trump. The DPRK remains a fucking progressive light of the Hop 4D future. Yes, you have thrown us extremely off track. What you do not know is I fucking love this story because it's just so goddamn ridiculous. I can't help but laugh my ass off at this.
Well, at least you're not screaming in incoherent rage, so.
I answered him radically while socialistically aiming my wand at Draco's racist t-shirt with the words his name was Seth Rich written on it. I will give this author fucking credit. No, stop! Draco yelled, flailing his arms imperialistically. It shouldn't be this funny, but it was. But the shirt's collar was still revolutionarily contracting. Then his head swelled up and fucking exploded like that fucking movie Scanners. Ooh. Yes, I guess I did, I said in that gloriously humble voice of the heroic working man's revolution for freedom and labor. No, Trelawney answered in a still very elitist way. Thanks, I guess, I replied proletariatly.
Alright, fuck off. You're not even trying anymore. Ugh.
Um, it's this fucking story is just too good. I will never favorite this story. I will never I will never follow this story. But it is too good. Alright, now that I'm happy again, let's continue.
Oh,
I noticed a
go on.
sudden, before much more could be said, another woman walked into the room. She had brown hair, white dress, pink and red scarf. Who are you? She ignored him, looked towards Naruto, and smiled when she saw his eye. My name is Ryoku Fueguchi. I'm like the young
Yoko.
child in the bed. I'm wondering if I can take him with me.
Isn't that one of the people that helped Sukune train?
I don't know, look it up.
Ugh. I'm working on it.
I know this may be suspicious, but I want to take him away from here. I can look after him, I promise. No matter what, it's a mother's job to protect her child, so come with me. Crying, I can tell the pain you went through. I'm not calling you mom. Last person adopted me and made me like this. If you leave with Naruto-san, I'm coming along. Satsuki is going with Naruto. Sakon and Tayu are going with Naruto. Then I'll take you all with us. Well, guys, here's my new story. The Saiyan of Sanin. Anyways, now hit it, Mizor. Circus for a Psycho by Skillet.
Well, at least you found out what happened to the centipede.
No, I didn't.
Also,
Oh! Oh, I did. Right hands banged open, palm against his head, cracked his index finger on his left hand before reaching into his ear and pulling out the centipede.
by the way, just want to point out, Naruto has four best friends because it's supposed to be the Sound four. So where the fuck is Jirobo and Kitamaru?
Yeah, that's a good point. Apparently,
You got
apparently the
something.
Sound Four are there, but only the Femels matter.
Sakon and Ukon are not female.
I know. I wouldn't be surprised if the author made them female, though. Alright, time to leave a review on this trash heap. What the fuck did I just read? Question mark. This was a flaming garbage pile of edgy.
I might continue reading this just to watch the train wreck progress.
Oh, really?
Well, I have lower standards than you and can honestly just turn them off to save myself trouble. Like, this stuff doesn't pain me the way it does you.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, what the fuck did I just read? Yeah, what the frick? Yeah. What the frick did I just read? That was a flaming garbage pile of edgy, rusty razors. Massive out of character shenanigans. Fucking Jason, but not, but Asian, and a sadist, and a scientist. So basically, not Jason.
Kinda wanted to go listen to Circus for a Psycho now.
Anything else?
If you're gonna try and write an anime opening, use more descriptors, because it's got like a minute 30 of the song set aside, and maybe 10 seconds worth of animation, unless he just plans on having a bunch of still shots. I guess he's assuming he's got the same budget that Evangelion had for the last like 20 minutes or something, where they just fucking everything was drawn in fucking crown. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that's one thing. Even if I never watch any of Evangelion, I really do need to watch that exact moment where you can see their budget just flushed down the toilet.
We have already used our entire budget. Now have some crayon.
Uh,
Anything else? So we got out of character bullshit. We got Jason, but he's Asian, a scientist, and basically not Jason. Edgy OC, basically. What happened to what was their names? Jubo? Sound 4?
Jirobo. Here, let me just shoot them to you in a PM.
The rest of the Sound 4. They
Sure
just stand
yes.
there silently.
Watching this happen, wondering why they weren't
Honestly,
invited along on the trip.
I have more positive feelings for the centipede than I do for the rest of this story. So I shall leave you all on Circus for a Psycho.
Good song.
Have fun. Good night, everyone. And remember, if you enjoyed this for some illogical reason, join us once again this Friday, next Tuesday, that Friday, and from there on. 7 o'clock Eastern Time, PM, of course.
Yes, of
We'll be
course.
doing more of this, and we probably won't run out of material anytime soon. You get to see me go hoarse from shouting and ranting. You get to see Max go, sure, and Atin will join us eventually, and he just encourages my rants. So,
Oh yeah, no, these two
Yeah.
just feed off each other.
have a good night, and goodbye.